not like kind of for me having to separate what's theologically right about this, and again that just kind of gets into all this. Then we're just like we're toggling these ideas from paper back and forth without like it's a disembodied, unfully encompassed way to approach faith. But it's like, well, if I have the wrong ideas, then it's going to send me to hell or something. If I have the wrong, which it's just disembodied. That's all I know how to say is that, and maybe there's something to the word that I've been trying to understand more lately to take it back to Vervaeke is this optimal grip on those things, on those meaningful things. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So to kind of get it into interview mode a little bit, taking it out of the dialogical is, I'd be interested for you to unpack a little bit about Vervaeke. You said it so forms how it shapes your world. Like, could you kind of like expound on that a little bit? How your Vervaekean way of viewing the world.
Yeah. I think the right way to say it is that I'll use an example. So one of my sisters has journeyed along with me in many ways. And I had recommended John to her a few times, and she told me she tried to watch it, but it was too complicated. It didn't land with her, those sorts of things. She couldn't grasp it. And then a couple of months ago, we talked, and she had watched his interview with Theo Vaughn. And she said, you know what, for the first time, I got it. I understood why. Because I actually could understand John, and I could get on his wavelength, and now I'm excited to go and watch Awakening from the Meaning Crisis, that sort of thing. And I think, and what I told her is, I said, a really good teacher is someone that you can't really learn from until you fall in love with them. And I think, for me, John, like I fell in love with John at a certain point. And when he would lay out the world, I could, like, for example, in After Socrates, the way I went through After Socrates was I would drop into meditation, and then I would put my headphones on and play it. And I'm a very my thinking is very synesthetic. Like I very much visualize a landscape of ideas. That's part of what climbing Mount Sophia means for me. And so I would just, I would go in there and I would just watch John play, just watch it build stuff. And I would try on these glasses and use these tools and move all this stuff around within my own psyche, within my own framework of reality as it was going along. And I think, I did that to a really extensive degree with, like, Awakening from the Meaning Crisis, with After Socrates, with one of the really good little known series that he did with Chris and Greg Enriquez, Christopher Maestro Pietro, is called The Elusive Eye on his show. And that one was really helpful for me. Anyway, and so, yeah, I think that's, that would be, so it'd be tough for me to sort of classify it in any other way, I think.
Was just the deep ingestment of his teaching.
Yeah, and just to sort of, what I'm trying to get at is, like, yeah, all the words are important and all the models are important, but for me, it was, I think, in many ways, there was genuinely a logos to it that started to, like, I started to be able to hear the music of, and started to be able to play with and harmonize with and participate with. And I don't think that logos is John's. But I think that it's, you could say, a logoi of the logos itself. but yeah, I think that John showed me the good, in a way that I could actually see and follow. And that's not to say that John is a guru. I don't worship John. I don't think he's like, I know John. He's a wonderful person, but he's a person. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not trying to deify John at all. But I am trying to say that that's yeah.
There's something about maybe what's happening is we're trying to discover meaning in this kind of full circle from science and secularity, from sacred, and that we've danced around even today, is just discovering or trying to rediscover whichever it is with where we're at now, not to try to, we can't go back in that way, but that where we're at now with the tools that we have, and is a discovering of, how to view the world in a hopefully more spherical way, as opposed to like flat or 2D, or,
Mhm.
that we've kind of maybe been trapped in actually for a long time, that I think maybe the world did seem more, some, more whole in the past, that we've, the atomization, the vivisection type, that it's like, oh no, it's and that through, at least for John, it may be in relationship to you and to others that I know, through cognitive science, language is helping, uh, well, just helping with that healing, maybe.